Hello, welcome to Fearox Frank Reviews. Today we're going to be looking at a 1980s classic comedy, Ruthless People. This movie is just pure, utter, ridiculous 80s comedy. It is pure 80s comedy gold. I mean, there's so much ridiculous shit that happens throughout this entire movie. We're talking the most random things actually happen. It has got the most batshit crazy insanity going on for it, all for a simple murder plot that just spirals into kidnapping and just a link of coincidence after coincidence after coincidence that revolves within a dim-witted moron videotaping a sex video without even realizing it, thinking that it's a murder, and a police captain trying to cover up a couple of things. A fashion designer and her husband kidnapping a wife, a serial murderer, and an overall heiress trying to get a shit ton of money. This movie is just pure ridiculous insanity. I mean, my God. Every time I show my friends this movie, they can't help but they almost die from laughter compared to the ridiculous shit that happens in this movie. Oh, my God. Oh, the star-studded cast alone really gives the movie a huge bang for its buck, too. I mean, seriously. I mean, Danny DeVito, Betty Miller. My God, that's just some of what's going on. But okay, how do I even describe the plot? I mean, the plot just loops and loops and loops because of a series of coincidence circumstances and just awkward bad timing. It just purely spirals into insanity. Well, the plot is mainly around Danny DeVito's character trying to get rid of his wife Betty Miller's character. So technically, Danny DeVito is he's a millionaire, but he's also sort of a philanthropist moron, a philanthropist bastard who's also a cheater. He's been cheating on his wife for years with his mistress, and he tells his mistress he's going to kill his wife and dump the body somewhere. So he's ready to go and kill his wife, but the second he gets there, he finds out his wife is missing, and there's a ransom note just on there's a ransom note in the house saying that somebody actually kidnapped her. And the kidnappers are actually, oh God, this is ridiculous. It turns out the kidnappers are actually a woman and who's a fashion designer and her husband who's a radio salesman. And the woman, the fashion designer, is actually somebody who Danny DeVito stole designs from years ago and said, these are my designs, not hers. So he basically got full credit of the whole thing and just wound up taking full credit, taking millions that should have been hers. And in the midst of all this, the mistress is actually seeing a complete moron of a person, and she says to tell him to go videotape him dumping the body, Danny DeVito dumping the body. But it turns out that since with this whole thing of the wife getting kidnapped, that didn't actually happen. What instead he videotapes is a couple having hardcore sex. And this is where it gets really interesting. It turns out the guy who's having sex with the girl, okay, this is kind of, the way it plays out, it's kind of funny when you watch it. And by the way, the idiot is actually played by Bill Pullman. Yeah, so he's videotaping the whole thing, and he thinks that Danny DeVito is murdering his wife right there on the spot, so he can't even watch it. And the woman is screaming her lungs out. That's only because the guy likes the women when they scream during sex. It's like, oh, he's one of those types. Okay, that's good for you. But in Bill Pullman's mind, he thinks that he's murdering her or raping her to death. Yeah, it just gets completely yeah. So he's basically off to the side like, well, he has the video camera. The camera is stationary, watching the whole thing. And he's off on the side puking his guts out. And later on, we get to discover the guy who was having sex with that prostitute was the chief of police, and he is mortified when he sees the videotape. He's like, it is just ridiculous. Oh, God. And then there's this whole subplot with this mass murderer called the Bedroom Killer. But the way everything goes down, in a sense, so Betty Miller's character, she decides to forget about getting rescued. She starts to get fit while she's being held captive. She actually decides to be, and during the midst of her losing weight, and she's actually getting fit, losing weight, and, well, during this process, she actually befriends the female kidnapper, and they actually become decently good friends. So she leaves, but the male comes back, and, well, he thinks that she's going to call the cops. The cops actually do wind up coming by, but it turns out that they were actually there just to tell him about the bedroom killer that he's been sighting in the area. It's like, oh, okay. So, and while his wife is screaming in the background, like, oh my God, oh my God. It's like, what's wrong with it? Oh, don't worry about it. She's actually late for work, so, oh, okay, yeah, sure. Wow. So he calms his wife down. Betty Miller's character actually does wind up returning back to the house because, well, she befriended her, okay, so just let it go. Just let it go. But it's around that point, that's when the bedroom killer comes by and starts to attack them. But he accidentally kills himself. Yeah, bit of a coincidental death. Totally justifiable. They didn't do it. He just fell to death. But at that point, Betty Miller befriends the male kidnapper, and that's when they realize what he's been doing, what her husband's been doing the whole time, cheating and stealing money. So they launch a grand scheme plan. At this point, the police don't actually believe throughout the entire movie, the police actually believe Danny DeVito's character, but at some point they stop believing him. They think that he basically put him on a wild goose chase, saying that he actually did murder his wife. But with the whole thing with the police chief going back and forth, and he actually wants to leave the country. They actually find out, all right, fine. It turns out Danny DeVito's wife was actually kidnapped. The mistress found out, and she thought that, okay, he murdered his wife. She was so hell-bent and convinced that he had murdered his wife, but the problem is she didn't see the tape. So they go to a public location to play the tape where all the TVs are playing the tape. So it's a sex tape with the police chief. And they're like, you idiot, that's not him at all. Oh, he's not really killing her. He's just... Wow, I just recorded this. Oh my God, I just recorded this police chief having sex with a prostitute. Wow, I'm an idiot. You think? That means she was really kidnapped. You think, you moron? Okay, so they did set up but anyway, the kidnappers and the wife set up some place for him to drop off all of his money, not the wife's money, all of his money. And so, okay, the mistress wants to still steal the money from him, so she sends the idiot. Okay, so the mini spot said that he's going to get the money. So the male kidnapper dresses up like the clown, and he actually winds up taking the money. But that's when the police come swarming in, and he's like, "Oh, whoa, she's dead!" And the police just back off. And this is actually one of my favorite parts of the movie, is when Bill Pullman's character comes. The second the police actually leave the area, they're back in hiding, and the SWAT teams are on the roof. All the SWAT snipers are on the roof. They're like, okay, all right, back it up, people. All right. At that point, Bill Pullman's character comes right in, goes to the male kidnapper. He's like, give me the money. What is going on? I'm robbing you! Bill Pullman's character is the biggest moron in the entire movie. It is just so unbelievable. He didn't even see the cops actually leave the area. He didn't even know they were around the area. So, one of the SWAT snipers is shooting at him, just giving him warning shots. He's like, what the hell? Did you shoot at me? What? No, dude, look at me. Look at what the only thing I have here is a radio. Are you kidding me? It's like, you better watch it, man. You better watch it. But one of the tires goes, that was a brand new tire. It's like, are you serious? Man, you sure you don't have a gun? Do I even look like I have a gun? There's police all over the place, you moron. Oh, Sorry, dropped my remote. Anyway, yeah, he tries to leave, but there goes the other tire. The sniper shoots out the other tire, and he goes, "How are you doing it? Okay, give me your keys." Are you? Oh my God, are you serious? Anyway, the police captain is on the bullhorn. Said, "Drop the bag, drop the gun, give Bozo the bag, and walk away." Who said that? Who said that? And his second in command, and the police chief, second in command, he's just looking at him and just pure awe and stupidity, going like, "This may very well be the stupidest man on the face of the earth. Perhaps we should just shoot him." You know he's gotta be that stupid if one of the cops just up and said that. So what happens is, like, they say, "This is the police department." Really? It's like, "No, we're the National Rifle Association." He looks up at the roof and all the snipers are just pointing their guns at him. It's like, okay, they're up. So yeah. The kidnapper grabs him in the briefcase and he just gets into his car and just drives off. While Bill Pullman's character gets arrested. And that's the last time we ever get to hear from Bill Pullman's character or the mistress, like, ever. Oh, God. It's just pure ridiculous how the whole thing got set up. Anyway, the male kidnapper, he drives off the Santa Monica Pier and releases some of the money. They actually pull the car out of the water, and there's a body. Who is it? It's the bedroom killer. Oh, smart. Since the bedroom killer was actually, accidentally was murdered, it was actually killed at his house, they used the body. Smart. No. So he can't be traced back. Anyway, Betty Miller's character comes in. She says that she's all right. And the police get to see her and Danny DeVito get reunited. And while the two police detectives are talking, in the background you see Betty Miller beating the shit out of Danny DeVito and tossing him off the pier. Oh yeah. Oh my God. Oh, you just gotta see that. I may have just said the entire plot, but there's so many subplots in this movie that was just ridiculous. So yeah, the two kidnappers and Betty Miller's character, they get the money, they live, and they just live on with their lives. So it's a pure 80s movie. The music is purely 80s. The style is purely 80s. This movie is pure 1980s. If you're nostalgic for the 1980s, then you are just going to enjoy this movie. So, would I recommend this movie? Hell yes. I would recommend a lot of people watch this movie. If you are a fan of the 1980s, and especially 1980 comedies, then you will enjoy this one. Oh, fuck. Oh, boy. Sorry. I just realized that tomorrow is Valentine's Day. My most hated holiday ever. You know what? Since tomorrow is Valentine's Day, I'm going to review a horror film. Why? Why the hell not? But first, I'm going to watch this. Till then, take care. Fucking Valentine's Day.